Welcome to my Flash CS5 tutorial number 5. It's titled Flying Saucer Circles Earth. I'm going to start by opening the Flash CS5 tutorial 4, which was titled Rotating Earth Using a Mask, and I'm going over here to the properties. I'm going to click on the stage, go over to open the properties panel, and I'm going to put the color back on the stage to white. Go back to frame 1, click on the mask layer, insert a layer, and call it saucer. Black stroke, and I picked up a bright fill for it. There it is there. Picking up my oval tool, and I'm going down to 50%, and I'm putting a oval here just off the stage. There it is. That's my flying saucer. Selection tool, I'm going to highlight it, modify it, convert it to a symbol. I'm going to call it a graphic saucer underscore GRP, enter, just to give it a name, graphic. Lock that saucers layer, open another layer, call it guide, GUIDE, enter. Click on the first frame of that guide layer and pick up your pencil and try to be roughly in the middle of that, and in a nice smooth stroke go across the page and back to the point of where you're actually coming back, like that. Okay, go up to frame 300, and select and drag down those two frames like that. Right click, insert keyframes. Go to the next two frames, drag down and all the way across to the end, even past it will be okay, and right click anywhere in this highlighted area and remove those frames so they stop at 300. Go back to lock all your frames, go back to turn on your saucer, frame 1, and on frame 1 the saucer is right here, so let's zoom in on it, and I want that circle of the saucer to be on that line, so grab your selection tool and take it off, and now slowly bring it up and make sure it's back hitting that line. You can use your arrow keys. Go all the way up. Let's zoom here. Let's go back up to 300. This bottom frame right here, last one for the saucer layer. Click on it. Pick this saucer, grab it, and get it close. Make sure it's not touching the earth yet. And zoom in on it. Make sure it's not touching the earth, even if you have to come back here on your line. I don't want it up here like that touching the earth because it's in front of the earth, so bring it back here as long as it's breaking that line. Go back up here anywhere in this saucer layer, right click, create a classic tween. Now let's zoom out. Double click on this little envelope of your guide layer, click click. This panel opens, click guide, close it, and you'll see a little hammer. This is a guide, just like this was a mask. Click on your saucers layer, hold it down, come to the right, and you'll get this little dotted thing. Go back to frame 1 and just hit the enter button. And we'll see if that saucer, the Earth is rotating really well and that saucer is following that line. It's going to start to go up the page now. And good. I'm happy with that. Hit that enter sign again, the enter button again. Let's go back to frame 300. Right here. Lock all the layers. Select the guide layer. Insert 2 layers. 1, 2. Call the bottom one saucer back. S-A-U-C-E-R-B-A-C-K. Saucer back. And call this layer guide back. Unlock the saucer layer down here for 1 minute. Click on that frame and get on the saucer tip. When you get the crosshairs, right click, copy it, lock that saucer's layer, select these 2 frames right here at the 301 mark, insert keyframes, lock the guide layer, select frame 1 of the saucer's back layer, come down to the stage, right click and paste in place. There's that saucer where it left off from the last time. Lock your saucer layer, unlock the guide layer, select frame 1, pick your pencil up, come back behind it here a little bit, come back behind it and take it right through the Earth. There we go. Right through the Earth. Now, just for 1 click here on this last frame of this guide, click it and just drag it to the right one. Oops, I didn't get it. Click it. See how it's all fuzzy there under the arrow? Click it and drag it. And that makes it appear, and look, we're in line. If we weren't in line here with this, we could adjust it. So I'm going to do Control Z. I'll get rid of that. Now that's where it is for position 1. Lock the guide layer, unlock the saucer back layer. Here we are right here. This is the one I want right here. Frame 301. I'm just going to zoom in for a minute. And we're not going to move the saucer. We know that the saucer is the same spot where it's supposed to be as the other one. So unlock the back layer, the back guide layer. Get your selection tool. Double click on it. It's highlighted. I'm just going to tab it down. So if I select my saucer layer, I'm going to just tab the saucer down a little bit. One, up a little bit. There. That's where my saucer is going to start. Come all the way up to 600. Select these 2 end frames. Right click. Insert convert to keyframe. Convert to keyframes. Lock the back one. Now we're going to drag this all the way to the other end. So let's make the stage zoom in. Drag this. Drag this. There's a lot of bumps and things in this guide. It may not work. Let's zoom in. And I'm just going to go off it and come back on it. See, I'm concerned with this. That may not work. Right click in here, anywhere on the saucer layer, classic tween. Click on this guide layer, make it a guide. Drag this up in the hair, zoom out. Hit the enter button. Oh, Go back to frame 300 and 1. Hit the enter button. Oh, it's following it. It's following it. It's following it. It's following it. It may do a little dance here. Yeah, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. We'll keep that. Give it some character. Now, we got to make sure that these two layers are underneath the Earth. So let's grab this right here, look. Until I get those arrows and stretch these down. And I want these two top layers here. Select this one, just select the guide layer, and you're going to bring it down till it's below the Earth. And the saucer will come with it because it's a guide. There's my saucer in the back. Now, let's go back to frame 1. Let's control, test movie, test. Here comes my saucer. Passes in front of the Earth. If you could make a real fancy saucer if you wanted to. It comes around, goes behind the Earth, comes back out, does that little dance because I had that. Takes a second look at the Earth before it leaves. Open your properties panel. Click on your stage. See where it says stage right here? If you haven't, it's under here, properties. Click on this color box and pick up black. And let's do one more test. Test movie, test. And there's our Earth. Here comes our spaceship. The Earth is rotating good. If it's jerky at the ends, you're just going to adjust the length of it. And behind the Earth. Comes back out. Says, do I want to leave the Earth? I better take another look. No, I'm going. And then eventually it'll go back to frame 1 and start over. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.